Showers have returned this early morning, and more about that coming up for you in just a moment.
Right now this morning, tens of thousands attend Charlie Kirk's memorial service, President Trump's controversial remarks, and the widow's call for forgiveness. Ukraine's president set to meet with Trump. We'll have more on rising tensions and emergency UN meeting. After the Fed cut interest rates, we'll tell you what it means for your mortgage, credit cards, and savings account. Good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter on this Monday, September 21st, just about 6 a.m. and it's the first day of autumn today. We'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett, tracking it all for us from the Weather Center. You're tracking some lightning. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah,
perfect timing.
Tracking some lightning right now. That's moving right over La Crosse right now, trying to get across the river and move over into the downtown area eventually. But we'll get that thunderstorm activity working across our region now. Eau Claire is drying out. Prairie du Chien is dry right now, so mostly folks in Holman getting into Prairie du Chien. You're probably going to see some showers later on today, though. We'll hold on to Black River Falls as well as Sparta getting into the storm activity. Right now, there's Eau Claire happening right now. Not much going on. Folks are doing well on the roadways. The roads are somewhat wet, but you can still see a little bit of fog trying to develop, as well as holding on to that thunderstorm activity. You can see just really lightening up. That gives you a chance to see the fog that's in the background. Holding on to showers and storm activity as we go through the morning hours, and eventually that continues into the early afternoon. By 1 o'clock, it should be done. Eau Claire will start to taper down any type of storm activity or showers as we finish out most of the day today as we go into the afternoon. Holding on to highs for the day, you're looking at temperatures in the upper 60s to the middle to upper 70s in your forecast. And once we get into it here, you're going to see the rainfall hold on to maybe a half an inch or less in the forecast. And that's a look what I've got going on for you. More about that in just a moment.
Tens of thousands gathered in Arizona yesterday to honor Charlie Kirk at his memorial service. News 8 Now's Seth Padilla is here in the studio with the latest for us. Seth.
Alexandra, the memorial at State Farm Stadium in Arizona featured emotional tributes and political calls to action. President Trump, Vice President Vance, and other officials spoke at the service. Kirk's widow, Erica, said she forgives the man accused of killing her husband, while President Trump took a different tone in his remarks.
The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry.
President Trump says he plans to posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And Utah prosecutors plan to pursue the death penalty against the 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. In the studio, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now this morning.
Thank you for that update, Seth. Another developing story today, a suspect set to be arraigned in a New Hampshire country club shooting that killed one person. Police say Hunter Nadeau, a former employee, shot and killed 59-year-old Robert Desari during a wedding Saturday night. Two others were heard at Sky Meadow Country Club. The 23-year-old suspect was arrested quickly and will face murder charges, prosecutors say. World leaders, meantime, gathering in New York today for the UN General Assembly. Ukraine's president says he's set to meet with President Trump. Meanwhile, Russia appears to be provoking the U.S. and its allies ahead of those talks. Amy Kiley reports on the tensions building between the two nuclear powers.
There's no restraint on Putin right now.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's meeting with President Donald Trump this week as U.S.-Russian tensions rise. He says they'll talk on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. Their meeting comes as Trump says he will defend the Baltic states and Poland from Russia if necessary. That statement before Charlie Kirk's memorial yesterday follows Russian incursions into NATO airspace. Those include flying jets over Estonian territory Friday and drones over Polish and Romanian land earlier this month.
Zelensky has spent 3.5 years making the argument that Putin will not stop at Ukraine, and I think he'll be able to make that even more forcefully and to push for a clear position from Trump on getting tough on Russia.
Article 5 of the NATO treaty says an attack on one member state is an attack on all of them.
Sooner or later, if this kind of provocation happens, we're going to have some kind of incident that will prompt a crisis. And that crisis will force President Trump, I suspect, to think about which side they want to take.
Article 5 requires alerting the UN Security Council. Today, that group is holding an emergency meeting at Estonia's request.
Tensions are running very high. NATO and the European allies grappling with the very real risk as these attacks escalate of this conflict spreading.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The U.S. and Russia are both permanent members of the UN Security Council. Russia denies its jets entered Estonian airspace Friday. Back here at home, the La Crescent Apple Festival wrapped up this weekend with one of its biggest traditions, the King Apple Parade. News 8 Now's JDS McGee takes us there.
Floats, marching bands, and community groups made their way through La Crescent Sunday for the King Apple Parade.
Events like these are important because, you know, everything's going on in the world, and it's something like this to take your mind off of it. Because everybody smiles and everybody acts like we're one big family.
For many families, the parade is more than just entertainment. It's a tradition they look forward to year after year.
It's amazing. It's getting bigger every year, and the carnival. It's amazing that this little town puts on such a big deal.
It's a thing to look forward to, I guess. Like it's almost like you don't do it every so often, so it's like a treat in a way.
Rain was also in the forecast, but it didn't seem to dampen the spirit. Crowds kept cheering and smiling as the parade rolled on.
Normally, you know, if you see rain, you're wondering, or what do people think? Are they wet? Are they uncomfortable? We were all in it together. You had smiles. Everybody was having their time.
Organizers say the parade's success all comes back to community pride.
It's essential because if you look at our parade, it is one of the larger in the area. We are the oldest festival in the area. And as you can tell, we have the following. And I think that's it. It's just the community aspect, the love behind it.
Rain or shine, speaking of rain, it's pounding down on our building right now. The King Apple Parade continues to draw crowds year after year, a reminder of how important the tradition is to the community. And the Minnesota Marine Art Museum in Winona giving visitors a rare behind-the-scenes look. Curators unrolled a section of the longest painting in the U.S., the grand panorama of a whaling voyage around the world. At more than 1,200 feet long, the panorama is stored on 4 giant rolls. Visitors saw a 325-foot stretch displayed at once.
Folks can come in and see this painting moving before their eyes. It was designed to be a spectacle, and so seeing it move was how it was originally intended to be seen.
The art museum rotates the painting 40 feet every 10 to 12 days and performs the rotation when they're open so the public can see. Game day in the vineyard. There we go. I was supposed to pause for the marching band. Game day in the vineyard, that is, brings more than live music to the El Morro Vineyard. It's a chance to hear the Screaming Eagles up close when the anchor stops talking, that is. The UWL Marching Band has been performing at Game Day in the Vineyard for 8 years, allowing fans, friends, and family the chance to show their admiration for the band.
Like, they are so excited to be here, and this gives them kind of a one-on-one with their families and supporters so they can be involved and sing along and be right in with it, because normally you're in the stands, you don't get that same, feeling.
If you missed the band this year, you can join them for next year's event during the 3rd week of September. The accordion may not be your first choice of instrument, but for some, its cultural importance is huge. News 8 photographer Bree Gasper has more in this week's eyepiece.
When I was a kid, everybody played the accordion, and everybody had one. And all of a sudden, the Beatles came along, and guitars came along, and people forgot about the accordion.
My parents gave me a choice, piano lessons or accordion lessons. I looked at that accordion and said, I'll take that because I can carry it with me. People ask me how long I've been playing, and I finally figured it out, 64 years. So I started the year of the first Oktoberfest.
My dad gave me this accordion when I was probably in my 20s, and he immigrated from Switzerland, my mom immigrated from Germany, and they were very into all the folk music. They were part of yodeling and German Swiss singing groups. So I guess in some ways, even though they're gone, this is a way to kind of keep the music going.
Everybody thinks that an accordion, of course, it's a polka instrument. All you can do is polkas. But I play all styles of music, from classical to jazz.
It's actually a very logical instrument. They've had piano lessons. They got the right hand covered. The left hand is very related to music theory, called the circle of keys. So very logical going up and down the rows. And a little secret, 120 buttons, you only use about 50 right in the middle.
Music connects people, so having the accordion and listening to the music and doing that sing-along kind of atmosphere, people think of the accordion because it's fun. It's fun to sing, it's fun to play together.
The time now is 6:08. Still ahead on your morning news, Trump may eliminate food insecurity reports as food stamp cuts loom. Car repairs get more expensive due to tariffs, and Ford is recalling thousands of vehicles. See if yours is affected. And the Fed cut interest rates while credit scores fall at the fastest pace since the Great Recession. What that means for you. And for now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Today is National Ice Cream Cone Day. Ice cream cones were first mentioned in French cookbooks in 1825. They became popular in the U.S. in the late 1800s and debuted at the 1904 World's Fair. And as you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the view from Jenks, Oklahoma, if you've ever wondered what that looks like. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
We really care about our employees and their families, and then also the community as a whole.
We have a lot of really good employees. It's like a family around here.
The customer is always number one. That's always our goal, to get them running.
Having Carrier as our main product, with the support that they give us, the commitment to their product, to our people, is outstanding.
From the first call that you make, we'll take care of you every step of the way.
And air conditioning, your comfort is our business.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Get 0% APR on select Sierra 1500 models. Plus, get $4,500 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben will fight to get you a fair settlement.
When I woke up in the hospital, I knew that my next decisions were critical. And I knew right away that I wanted to use Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben.
They were thorough, compassionate, and just really made us feel at ease right away.
I highly recommend Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben to anybody that needs honest representation. They have been with us every step of the way.
Call or visit Schwebel.com today for a free consultation.
The camper. It has been a reliable companion for your family's good times. But after years of use, it is showing some wear and tear. A broken window from an errant baseball, a couch that your dog allegedly chewed on, and an AC unit that doesn't work like it should. It's time to call Jim's Truck and Trailer Coach Works. We have been improving your family's campers since 1970. Call us today and we will make your camper feel brand new. Jim's Truck and Trailer Coach Works. Repair, refinish, remarkable.
In the hunt, every detail matters. It's not just about the thrill, but a passion for the craft. And in the end, it's about the people you get to be with. At Overhead Door, it's about our team and those we get to serve. We can repair any garage door, but we only install the best. Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region since 1921.
Taking you right back into thunderstorm activity that's out there right now. First, we'll start off with Eau Claire again to see if we have any lightning strikes at all, but it seems to be quiet as most of the rainfall is exiting to the east. There's the lightning. There you go. All right, see? It's on cue. I've got skills, right? You can see it right over La Crosse as well, and it's really moving in right now along our rooftop here. It is just kind of thunderous currently, and in fact, we'll also find a little fog developing out there as well. So you're seeing the light on the, the water on the lens there. You're also seeing this continue on, so that is something to see. You may want to start your day a little bit earlier now. Get the kids prepared to get them out to school and safely to the bus stop. And of course, we'll see if this holds on. It'll hold on all the way through the morning hours and into your afternoon. Also, holding on to this, you'll see thunderstorm activity with heavy thunderstorms for La Crosse today. 64 degrees holding on for the 7 a.m. hour. We get into the 9 a.m. hour, storms kind of back off a tad, but we'll see these possibly come back again for the mid morning hours, as I mentioned before. And eventually, you'll see Eau Claire holding on to drier conditions through the day, coming back again with a little light rainfall, coming back again for the 11 o'clock hour into your early afternoon. We'll also find ourselves with temperatures running from 69 to at least about 78 degrees. 75 for your La Crosse temperature, 72 for Eau Claire, 70 for Ladysmith. Other locations are going to be holding on to the mid to upper 70s as you go right along I-90 and southward. We'll also find ourselves holding on to at least 1/10 of an inch of rainfall to the north, and maybe about 1/2 inch of rainfall, just including La Crosse as well, and other folks down to the south. As far as mowing the lawn, not today, but the next couple of days with Wednesday, I forgot Tuesday in there, my bad. Tuesday and Wednesday you can do that. Holding on to at least a limited amount of shower activities you can see for Tuesday and Wednesday. We have temperatures on the rise. We continue on down, getting to those low to middle 70s, and those temperatures begin to rise for Thursday and your Friday. Back to you.
In our morning consumer news, the Trump administration is ending hunger reports after enacting historic cuts to food stamps. The Ag Department says it'll scrap the 30-year report on food insecurity. It comes after Congress passed cuts that will kick 2.4 million Americans off their food benefits. The latest data shows that hunger is rising. 13.5% of households were food insecure in 2023. The administration calls the report redundant and politicized. If you've had your car repaired lately, you've likely noticed higher costs. Car repairs rose 5% between July and August, the largest one-month increase on record. Overall, car repairs are up 15% from a year ago. Analysts say Trump's tariffs are mostly to blame for the higher costs. Ford is recalling more than 100,000 sedans over faulty door trims that could fall off while driving. The recall affects Ford Taurus models from 2016 to 2019. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the front door trims could detach and become hazardous. Ford has received more than 450 warranty claims, but reports no crashes or injuries. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates amid economic uncertainty from Trump's tariffs. Karen Caifa looks at what the rate cut means for you.
The Federal Reserve making its first rate cut since last December and making the move to prop up a U.S. labor market that is now on shaky ground. Consumers won't feel relief on loans right away, but it's a small step as the credit landscape starts to draw some concerns.
The Federal Reserve on Wednesday cutting interest rates for the first time in 2025.
In light of the shift in the balance of risks, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to lower our policy interest rate by 1/4 percentage point.
The move comes as the Fed continues to assess the impact of President Donald Trump's tariffs on inflation, which has begun to tick up, and as the labor market shows multiple warning signs.
We've seen hiring slow. Teen unemployment is skyrocketing. Black unemployment skyrocketing. The Fed is concerned about the job market much more than they are concerned about the inflation side of their mandate.
And as credit scores fall at the fastest pace since the Great Recession, the national average FICO score dropped by 2 points this year, according to data released by the analytics company Tuesday, the most since 2009.
Inflation is sticking around. Interest rates are still really high, even with these cuts from the Fed. So it's just a really tough time for an awful lot of people.
Matt Schultz, chief consumer finance analyst for personal finance website LendingTree, says consumers can take their own steps to help reduce their debt burden rather than wait for the Fed.
There are things that you can do with interest rates that will have a bigger impact than anything that the Fed will do.
Schultz says that includes shopping around for a mortgage or auto loan, or making a balance transfer to a 0% interest credit card, or getting a debt consolidation loan to lower interest payments each month.
Remember that the Federal Reserve will likely continue to make these cuts slowly, and rates will incrementally come down from what was a 2-decade high. So any major relief on borrowing costs for consumers is still going to take some time. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett, tracking quite the weather right now, Art.
Yeah, I thought the rainfall and thunderstorm, I should say the rainfall yesterday was fun, but man, this is something else. This is thunderous, and it continues to drive. Look at Onalaska lighting up again. You're going to see a lot of folks on the roadways trying to make their way through. Eventually, as I mentioned before, you should really start out early, get the kids prepared to be ready as well, because you've got thunderstorm activity that's going to last through the mid-morning hours and possibly kick up again. We'll hold on to areas by Eau Claire where you're going to see a few lightning strikes pop back into the picture, even though most of the rainfall has kind of moved out of the region, but you still have lightning strikes still happening there. Back over to La Crosse here, you can see, look at that, all that lightning coming in. Fog is starting to move in as well, and the forecast is changing up a bit. So you're going to see pretty much thunderous conditions going into La Crosse right now. Wet roadways are continuing to get really dropped down on with some heavier rainfall. We'll also see this through the morning hours going into the afternoon. Then we take a break from the storm activity with a slight chance. Some of that's going to try to kick back in as we go into the afternoon, but we'll see how that plays out. Gets west of the river, tries to get to Preston and over to La Crosse. We'll go right back into tonight, though. We'll have showers also to be likely, and then coming back again with storm activity as we finish out going into the overnight from 10 o'clock all the way into the 11 o'clock hour. This continues on with another batch coming in from the west. Right now, this is over La Crosse currently right now, and it continues to drench us. You're seeing Black River Falls. They're not out of the rainfall yet. They have light to moderate rainfall currently with some thunderstorm activity that's somewhere trying to pick up into the region for them still. You can see it by Winona, and that's probably pressing into that part of the region there. Dry air is trying to get back in from Canada. We're also seeing that go down to the south as well, and that's going to cut off our flow coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. So that means humidity is going to back down gradually. We'll see temperatures in the 60s and the 70s today, widespread. We'll also pick up again as you see the rainfall continuing on. This comes back with more storm activity through the 9 o'clock hour for Black River Falls. Holman, you'll get a taste of that, as well as La Crosse, possibly Sparta as well. And of course, Winona gets in that. Most of the showers stay up to the north by the 2 o'clock hour, where storm activity is trying to get across the river, as I mentioned before. Preston to Decorah, trying to get across to La Crosse as well in Winona. You see that maybe some shower activity possibly by the time we get into the evening commute, and that continues on with little light showers up to the north along I-94. Most of the bulk of that rainfall is by Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids. That still stays down with Black River Falls with a spotty shower or two with developing showers and storms by Viroqua as we get into the 11 o'clock hour. Those storms continue touching La Crosse as well, and they continue all the way down for the southern areas of I-90, and that continues on all the way through the overnight hours. So with that happening, we have more light showers to finish out your Tuesday morning as well as in your Tuesday afternoon, so it's only about a 20% chance of that occurring. So when we get into it, you're looking at 75 to 73 down to 72 degrees for the next few days, with milder conditions for Thursday and Friday with temperatures in the middle 70s, and then we go back down to the low to middle 70s for the weekend.
All right, Art, thank you. Cycling could protect your brain from Alzheimer's. We'll have more on a new study showing how exercise fights dementia.
Coming up next in sports, an odd one over in Cleveland. The Packers led the game late, but some big mistakes cost them the win. Check out the highlights coming up in the Morning Blitz.
In the Northland, we're chasing fall by tackling the back roads and any type of terrain. While going off the beaten path, even if there's a bump along the way. The only right way to get out there this season is in a Ford SUV that can handle it all. Now get $3,500 open bonus cash on a new 2025 Ford Escape. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Are you ready to build your future? Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor is hiring and wants you to apply. Starting wage for laborers is $21 per hour with a $2,500 hiring bonus. No experience but a great attitude? Then apply today. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today.
Jolivet Family Farms. There's no substitute for homegrown freshness. Get fresh and locally grown carrots, cucumbers, peppers, radishes, cabbage, cauliflower, potatoes, zucchini, dill, onions, tomatoes, blueberries, and our triple sweet corn. Find unique lawn, garden, and home decor, as well as fresh cut flowers and arrangements. Take home some cookies, breads, bars, and pies from our homemade bakery. Buy fresh, buy local. Open daily year round. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
In 1969, Taco John's combined Western traditions with Mexican flavors and created West Mex. More than 50 years later, it still tastes like a good idea. West Mex meals start at just $5, only at Taco John's.
Asher Laston Exteriors has moved to Chippewa Falls and is celebrating with a grand opening on Friday, September 26th. Come check out our showcase of Renewal by Anderson windows and doors, Gutter Helmet, Tundra seamless gutters, and Sonesta retractable awnings and solar screens. We have amazing prize drawings and special savings of up to 25% off for our guests. Join us at Asher's at our new showroom at 1654 Commercial Boulevard in Chippewa Falls on Friday, September 26th from 10 to 5. Visit goasher.com for all the details.
Okay, let's see. Headlines from News 8 Now? Check. Live updates all day? Check. Local breaking news? Yep. Weather every 10 minutes? Yes, please. Well, that was an easy choice. News 8 Plus. It puts the now in your day.
News 8 Now Sports.
Morning Blitz, week 3 of the NFL season, and the Packers have been red hot to start the year, but now Green Bay goes on the road for the first time all season over in Cleveland. Now the Browns may be 0-2, but they've got a solid defense. This one could spell trap game. Let's go there. As expected, a defensive battle in the first half. Late in the first quarter, Packers facing third down, but Love finds Romeo Doubs for the first down. Green Bay would settle for a field goal and take a 3-0 lead. Browns looking to respond. They're facing a 3rd and 7 at midfield, but here comes the pressure, and Rashawn Gary is there for the sack. Cleveland forced to punt. Green Bay would lead by 3 at the break. Second half, Packers moving the ball on 3rd and 7. Love connects with Dontavian Wicks down at the 3. Then a few plays later on 3rd and goal, Love play action, buying time, and connects with John Fitzpatrick for the touchdown. It's 10-0 Packers. Fourth quarter, now 10-3. Love passing, and he's picked off right into the hands of Grant Delpit, and he's got room to run. A 25-yard return. Browns take over inside the 5-yard line. And then on 1st and goal, Quinshon Judkins rushes it in. Browns tie the game at 10. However, Green Bay would go down the field, a chance at a game-winning field goal, but it's blocked. Cleveland's going to pick it up. They recover at midfield, and then they would have a chance to win. Andre Schmidt from 56 yards out, and he nails it. Packers fall 13-10 in an odd one. I mean, if you're a Packer fan, you just got to be sick after this one. Really, just a choke job at the end. First with the Love interception, then with the field goal getting blocked. A very winnable game turns into a gross defeat. Packers will be in Dallas next week for Sunday Night Football. Over in Minnesota, a couple of backup quarterbacks battling it out. Carson Wentz for the Vikings and Jake Browning for the Bengals. First quarter, Wentz facing a 3rd and 5, but he goes to Josh Oliver for the touchdown. Vikings with an early lead. Bengals looking for an answer. 2nd and 9. Browning stepping up in the pocket, buying time, but this throw is going to be intercepted. That's Isaiah Rodgers with the pick. He's got room to run. Nobody going to catch him. 87 yards in for the score. Minnesota goes up 14. Later, more defense and more Rodgers. The pass complete, but Rodgers punches the ball out. He's going to pick it up, and oh my, Isaiah Rodgers is going to score for the 2nd time on the day. Vikings up by 21, and then still in the first half, on 1st and goal, it's Jordan Mason taking it in. This one was all Minnesota, 48-10 the final. Now, I didn't know what to expect going into the game, but this outcome never crossed my mind. Terrific work by the Minnesota defense, and Carson Wentz, a solid game going 14-20, 2 passing touchdowns. Next week, Minnesota will travel to Dublin for an international game against the Steelers. That one will be an 8:30 a.m. Central Time kickoff. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
During the Drive Into Fall event, save on our most popular models. Remaining 2025 Ram 1500 pickups are 20% off MSRP, a savings of up to $14,500 on a new Laramie crew cab, and a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo with heated seats, remote start, and Apple CarPlay, just $36,790, which is $7,000 off MSRP, less than a used one. So come see us today at Chrysler Winona, Highway 61, Winona.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain. It just hurts all the time. It feels like your foot is squeezing on itself. When I drove past the Good Feet store, I thought, I'm gonna stop in. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet that were personally fitted just for me. Then it was like, okay, this is something special. These make a difference.
See for yourself with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
If your basement walls are peeling, that is not appealing. So this is water damage,
yes,
man?
Sir. That's water damage.
How many people right now have compromise in their basement brought on by water?
Oh, the majority. I mean, water is the enemy of a home.
Right.
But it's better to have it assessed to give you that ease of mind.
Sure.
Inspections are free. Might as well just give us a call to help.
Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
So that no matter what mess you brought into this church today, no matter what addiction and what struggle, no matter how many times you've doubted God or questioned God, that because of Jesus Christ, God's not holding it over your head. Instead, there is this amazing grace, there is this unconditional love that you and I can say, God doesn't just put up with us. God loves us.
Join Pastor Mike Novotny each Sunday. Watch Time of Grace on Channel 8, WKBT.
The Medicare annual enrollment period runs from October 15th to December 7th. With so many choices, it can be overwhelming. At Strive Medicare, we cut through the confusion, helping you find the plan that's right for you. We're your local Medigap insurance advisors right here in the Social Security building in downtown La Crosse, and ready to answer the questions face-to-face or over the phone. Don't go it alone this annual enrollment season. Call or visit Strive Medicare today.
Ready for a better career with excellent pay, benefits, and work-life balance? Chart Industries is hiring fabricators. Join the team that's shaping the future and providing awesome pay and excellent benefits. Apply today at jobs.chartindustries.com.
Thunderstorms moving along I-90 and eastward across the region. More about that in just a moment.
Right now this morning, tens of thousands attend Charlie Kirk's memorial service, President Trump's controversial remarks, and the widow's call for forgiveness. Ukraine's president set to meet with President Trump. We'll have more on rising tension and an emergency UN meeting. Most parents think they're protecting their kids, but 90% of car seats are installed incorrectly. The safety check that could save your child's life on Mindful Monday. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter. On this Monday, September 22nd, it is 6:30 a.m. and the rain is coming down. So is the lightning. We'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. Wow, Mother Nature is having a ball on this Monday morning.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had an equinox where it actually is raining, because I did most of this in California. So this is new to me. So we get into it. Thunderstorm activity is kind of moving on, and right now it is likely to continue all the way into the noon hour. We'll also see some showers coming in through the afternoon as well. Then eventually this all comes back again later on tonight. Let's take a look at that rainfall as I told you about. It is right over La Crosse right now, and it is coming down. It continues all the way down, tracking at least down towards Prairie du Chien within the next couple of hours or so. We'll hold on to Eau Claire. They still have a few rumbles out there in the distance, but we'll keep an eye on that. But they're going to be mostly in the showers. As La Crosse is still in the fog. Low cloud activity and overcast conditions right now, holding on to the area here with thunderstorms. Let's lighten it up. Current temperatures today, 50s, 60s in the forecast as well. As I get into it here, we'll show you the high temperatures today as well. 70s pretty much on the board, widespread today. And then once we get into it, rainfall could possibly be up to about a half an inch or less in your forecast. That's a look at what I've got going on for you. I'll be back in a while to let you know how this all shapes up. Stick around.
Thank you, Art. Meanwhile, tens of thousands gathered in Arizona yesterday to honor Charlie Kirk at his memorial service. News 8 Now Seth Padilla is live in the studio with that information. Seth.
Yeah, Alexandra, the memorial at State Farm Stadium in Arizona featured emotional tributes and political calls to action. President Trump, Vice President Vance, and other officials spoke at the service. Kirk's widow, Erica, said she forgives the man accused of killing her husband, while President Trump took a different tone in his remarks.
The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry.
President Trump says he plans to posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And Utah prosecutors plan to pursue the death penalty against 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. In the studio, Seth Padilla, News 8 Now This Morning.
Thank you for that update, Seth. Another developing story to get to. A suspect set to be arraigned today in a New Hampshire country club shooting that left one person dead. Police say Hunter Nadeau, a former employee, shot and killed 59-year-old Robert Desari during a wedding Saturday. 2 others were hurt at Sky Meadow Country Club. The 23-year-old suspect was arrested within 30 minutes and faces murder charges. World leaders are gathering in New York today for the UN General Assembly. Ukraine's president says he's set to meet with President Trump. Meanwhile, Russia appears to be provoking the U.S. and its allies ahead of those talks. Amy Kiley reports.
There's no restraint on Putin right now.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's meeting with President Donald Trump this week as U.S.-Russian tensions rise. He says they'll talk on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. Their meeting comes as Trump says he will defend the Baltic states and Poland from Russia if necessary. That statement before Charlie Kirk's memorial yesterday follows Russian incursions into NATO airspace. Those include flying jets over Estonian territory Friday and drones over Polish and Romanian land earlier this month.
Zelensky has spent 3.5 years making the argument that Putin will not stop at Ukraine, and I think he'll be able to make that even more forcefully and to push for a clear position from Trump on getting tough on Russia.
Article 5 of the NATO treaty says an attack on one member state is an attack on all of them.
Sooner or later, if this kind of provocation happens, we're going to have some kind of incident that will prompt a crisis. And that crisis will force President Trump, I suspect, to think about which side they want to take.
Article 5 requires alerting the UN Security Council. Today, that group is holding an emergency meeting at Estonia's request.
Tensions are running very high. NATO and the European allies grappling with the very real risk as these attacks escalate of this conflict spreading.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The U.S. and Russia are both permanent members of the UN Security Council. Russia denies its jets entered Estonian airspace Friday. And back here at home, the La Crescent Apple Festival wrapped up this weekend with one of its biggest traditions, the King Apple Parade. News 8 Now's JDS McGee takes us there.
Floats, marching bands, and community groups made their way through La Crescent Sunday for the King Apple Parade.
Events like these are important because, you know, everything's going on in the world, and it's something like this to take your mind off of it. Because everybody smiles and everybody acts like we're one big family.
For many families, the parade is more than just entertainment. It's a tradition they look forward to year after year.
It's amazing. It's getting bigger every year, and the carnival. It's amazing that this little town puts on such a big deal.
It's a thing to look forward to, I guess. Like it's almost like you don't do it every so often, so it's like a treat in a way.
Rain was also in the forecast, but it didn't seem to dampen the spirit. Crowds kept cheering and smiling as the parade rolled on.
Normally, you know, if you see rain, you're wondering, or what do people think? Are they wet? Are they uncomfortable? We were all in it together. You had smiles. Everybody was having their time.
Organizers say the parade's success all comes back to community pride.
It's essential because if you look at our parade, it is one of the larger in the area. We are the oldest festival in the area. And as you can tell, we have the following. And I think that's it. It's just the community aspect, the love behind it.
And rain or shine, the King Apple Parade continues to draw crowds year after year. The Minnesota Marine Art Museum in Winona gave visitors a rare behind-the-scenes look. Curators unrolled a section of the longest painting in the U.S. The Grand Panorama of a Whaling Voyage Around the World is what it's called. At more than 1,200 feet, the panorama is stored on 4 giant rolls. Visitors saw a 325-foot stretch displayed at once.
Well, folks can come in and see this painting moving before their eyes. It was designed to be a spectacle, and so seeing it move was how it was originally intended to be seen.
The art museum rotates the painting 40 feet every 10 to 12 days when they are open so the public can see. In our medical news, a new study suggests cycling could be good for your brain health. Researchers studied nearly 480,000 people. They found cyclists had a 19% lower risk of dementia and a 22% lower risk of Alzheimer's. That's compared to people who drive or use public transportation. Cycling was also linked to larger brain regions responsible for memory and learning. Democrats want expanded Obamacare subsidies to fund the government. Making the subsidies permanent would cost $350 billion over 10 years. 4 million more Americans would get health insurance by 2035. The subsidies expire December 31st. The government will run out of money September 30th. And now we'll send it over to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got an update on that morning commute. It's going to be quite the commute this morning. Give yourself some extra time, right, Art?
Yeah, most definitely. In fact, I'm going to give you what I just showed you before here with the moments of the rainfall, where it continues, in fact, where it lasts. Let me just give you this view here. First of all, we go right back into La Crosse. You're holding on to the storm activity that's going to linger as we go through the mid-morning hours. Now, the forecast when I started was saying it was all coming in by the mid-morning hours and continuing on. So we've just pretty much thrown that forecast out. It's here, and it's going to stay here, possibly going into the early afternoon. Why? Because more thunderstorm activity is going to be heading towards Black River Falls by the time we get in the 11 o'clock hour, going into the 1 o'clock hour as well. I should say before the 1 o'clock hour. I should say about maybe 12:15, going to about 1 o'clock, and it should be done. Eau Claire, on the other hand, will go drier, and then we'll see some showers coming back in the afternoon. It'll be light showers for you, and then that will continue all the way into the evening hours as well. The more light showers coming back again. But most of the heavier stuff coming back later on tonight will be down by La Crosse and, of course, I-90 and east along the area along I-90. Holding on to highs for the day. 70s in the picture here. Middle 70s for La Crosse, low 70s for Eau Claire. Upper 70s down to the south by Prairie du Chien and Boscobel with the rainfall potential. I'm going to call it, with what we've had now, about a ½ inch or less in the forecast. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You may not want to mow your lawn today because it's going to be stormy and rainy. Tuesday and Wednesday are much better for you with 60s and the 70s holding on to the forecast, with rainfall petering out as we go through Tuesday and Wednesday. And eventually you're going to see those temperatures rising, getting back down to the low 70s and eventually rising up to the middle 70s in your forecast. Back to you.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Emma's turning 18, and she likes golfing and playing softball, as well as spending time with her friends and 3 younger sisters.
And she's got a cute cat. Her. Yeah. Happy birthday to you, Emma. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 98, 88, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Excuse me. Upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Picture button under the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. Your car seat might be expired, and you might not even know it. We'll show you where to check ahead on Mindful Monday.
It's the National Mattress Sale at Home Sleep Express. Get an extra 15% off sale prices on Luxuria and Thomas Cole Sleep. This Jewel Pillow Top Queen is $849, and this Invigorate Plush Queen is just $594. Only at Home Sleep Express.
At Johnson Tractor, we know farming isn't just a job, it's a way of life. That's why we're proud to be your trusted New Holland dealer, delivering top-of-the-line equipment and unmatched support. From the field to the barn, our team is here to keep you running strong with reliable service and expertise you can count on. Johnson Tractor, your New Holland dealer of choice. Visit us today and experience the difference.
They often say variety is the spice of life. Well, if that's what you're looking for, the Board Store is your destination, because we have variety. We have windows and doors. We have siding. We have sunrooms. We have kitchens. We have bathrooms. We have flooring. We have tile. Whatever your home improvement needs are, interior or exterior, there's no better destination than the Board Store showrooms at 524 Copeland Avenue in La Crosse.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills.
When you need a truck to get you from the job site
to the campsite, drive your story with a new Ram from Pischke Motors.
Get your Ram now during the Drive into Fall sales event. Stop into Pischke Motors to save over 15% off MSRP on a 2025 Ram 1500. Plus, get 3.9% financing for 72 months. Ram trucks are built to serve power. So get in a Ram today. Hurry in because this offer ends September 30th. Go to Pischke.com, Pischke Motors West Salem, or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
Fall is the season for reinvention. It's easy to do with Macy's Fall Collection. Romantic dresses, the fall vibes they bring. These are a few of our favorite fall things. Brand new fall florals, fresh pads and leather, trenches and cashmere. We've got it all here. Show up this autumn in style that sings. These are a few of our favorite fall things. Find all your favorite fall trends at Macy's.
Get a sleep like no other on a handmade mattress from Heirloom at Home Sleep Express. Plus, pay no interest for 5 years and get free white glove delivery, setup, and a 120-night guarantee. Heirloom mattresses at Home Sleep Express.
All right, as we get back into your morning hours here, looking at lightning just lighting up on Alaska right now. Wet roadways out there currently. 61 degrees now on Alaska. They were 65 degrees earlier. Now you're looking at 3 miles of visibility out there. Now the visibility's dropped because we do have fog and low cloud activity here, which is going to garnish your drive to work today and taking the kids to school. Eau Claire, on the other hand, is dried out now, holding on to some clearing skies. In fact, Eau Claire, La Crosse was looking at some clearing skies as well. I was looking at this, and all of a sudden, it looks like it's finished. All of a sudden, this whole screen went white with lightning strikes. So it still has some juice out there. So please be careful. Don't let your guard down. Stay weather aware. So we get into it. We have showers activity this early morning. That continues into the afternoon early. We'll also see today more showers will be likely, but a slight chance of thunderstorm activity coming back again. We'll also see as we go into the evening and overnight, showers will be likely, but we'll also see a return of thunderstorm activity coming back into your forecast again. So we'll see this all again. And when it does return tonight, it's going to be mostly along I-90 and eastward like you're seeing here right now. So I don't mean to show you this right now. I'm working on that right now. I apologize about that. Holding on to the water vapor imaging the upper atmosphere. There's a lot of cloud tops really billowing up in the upper atmosphere right now. So storm activity is really huge, and this rainfall's got a long drop down. You get to at least storms that could be up to about maybe 50,000 feet, and of course working into the area here, holding on to 70s widespread for your day today. You'll see these showers continue to press across the region gradually, holding on to more showers and storm activity coming back again for Black River Falls in the mid-morning hours. That's why I'm saying this is going to happen possibly. You see more showers and storm activity crossing the river, at least trying to. And as they try to, most of it is rainfall. Storm activity still stays west of the river. Then once we get into the evening for your evening commute, it's mostly light showers for us, continuing on all the way into the end of the evening commute as well with light showers. Then once we finish that out, going to the 11 o'clock hour, showers turn into storm activity for Viroqua. It's light to moderate rainfall turning to storms going into the midnight hour and beyond. That continues to track all the way down towards Madison. And as that continues to track, Eau Claire is clear, but we've got fog coming back again for you. And of course, that's going to be more fog for the morning for La Crosse as well, and everybody along I-90 and I-94. We'll get back into it. We'll see a possibility of at least a half an inch of rainfall or less in the forecast. I know it's saying 1/10 of an inch, but that's a lot of rain out there right now, man. As we get back into it here, we'll hold on how this all plays out going into highs for Tuesday, 60s and some 70s, mostly 70s, middle 70s in your forecast. Highs for Tuesday, you can see that continues on, but as we get into Wednesday, you're looking at 60s, similar conditions, maybe a few degrees cooler. And we'll take it right back into the next 8 days for you, where you'll see conditions to play out like this with 70s pretty much across the board in your forecast. So please be careful as we go into your forecast. Again, stay weather aware. Back to you.
It's Mindful Monday, and if you're a parent, you probably think you've installed your child's car seat correctly, but studies show up to 90% of car seats are being used wrong. This week is Child Passenger Safety Week. Joining us is Kelly Hilsebeck, Trauma Injury Prevention Coordinator with Amplify Health. Good morning, Kelly. Nice to see you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, very important conversation. So tell us, the most common mistakes you're seeing parents make with car seats.
Yeah, so really looking at some new research that came out with the National Digital Car Seat Check Form. Their database is kind of showing 3 common misuses, and one of those is that parents are not installing the car seat tightly enough. So that just means when a technician looks at your seat, they're really able to move it either side to side or front to front or front to back more than 1 inch. So we can have a little movement, but we don't want more than an inch in any direction. So another common misuse is that when we have a forward-facing seat, at times caregivers are forgetting to use the tether strap. So that's a really essential piece when you are having a forward-facing seat in your car. It really helps hold the back of that or the head of that car seat back in the event of a crash. And another common misuse is that children are not harnessed tightly enough. So we're finding that harness straps are too loose when a technician is kind of checking over the child on arrival at a car seat event. And locally, we do tend to see a lot of times that car seats are installed with both the lap and shoulder belt and the lower anchor connectors when the majority of car seats wants you to use one or the other.
Okay, good to know there. All right, great. And so, yeah, how do parents know if they're installing and using their car seat correctly?
Yeah, so that can be, you know, really difficult.
There's a lot to keep in mind.
There's a lot out there. So we, as caregivers, parents, we get tons of things with manuals, but I will say your car seat manual, that is one that you want to keep, one that you want to read. You really want to follow the directions to get appropriate install. So really going by that, you might need your vehicle manual as well to get it properly installed. And if that's still feeling overwhelming, we really want you to seek out such as like a car seat check event where a technician can help you get it appropriately installed.
Okay, and we'll talk about those in just a second. First, we know rear facing, forward facing. What's the deal there?
Yeah, so that can be confusing. Parents can be confused when can they turn their like child from rear facing to forward facing. So, you know, the Wisconsin law states that children need to ride rear facing till they're 1 year old and that they weigh 20 pounds. But we know that the safest practice is to do that as long as we can. We want our children rear facing as long as we can, so going beyond that law. So we really want to follow our car seat on that one. We want to max out either the height or weight recommendation for rear facing. And this just comes down to, if you think about a motor vehicle crash, when that car suddenly stops, everything in it is still moving forward. So if you have that rear facing seat, that child's head, neck, and spine is going to be so much better protected in that rear facing position. If they're forward facing, you know, their head's going to get thrown forward and just a lot higher chance for an injury there.
Okay, great to know there. And so, yeah, where can parents go and get our car seats checked in the area?
Yeah, so Amplify Health by Gunderson leads the Safe Kids Cooley Region Coalition. And through that, we offer seat checks throughout the year. We just finished up our April through September checks at Maury's Audi in Alaska, and now we're moving on to our winter checks. So those are October through March. They're the first Thursday of the month from 3 to 6 p.m. That's going to be at the Gunderson Drive-Through North location. So if you kind of remember that drive-through lab location, that's where it is, 1207 Mulberry Lane in La Crosse. Parents don't need to schedule an appointment. They can come anytime to get advice on how to install, boost their confidence that they have it installed correctly. So really encourage that. And then if you can't make it to one of those, they actually do offer virtual seat checks online through the National Safety Council. So that's always an option as well.
Okay, yeah, great to know there. Makes it a little more convenient. And then any important message you want to share during this week, you know, final message for our viewers out there?
Yeah, so, you know, child passenger safety is an important topic year-round. We do know that motor vehicle crashes are a leading cause of severe injury and death in children. So it's essential that we have a child restraint system that's appropriate for our child and that it's installed correctly. We do not want just good enough when it comes to car seats because it may not be in the event of a crash.
Okay, and you guys are always there to help, so great to know. Okay, Kelly, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Yeah, thanks.
Stay with us. We're back right after this.
Scheduling your flu shot appointment is quick and convenient.
You can just walk up when you're shopping or schedule an appointment, whichever works for you. Keeping families and communities healthy feels good. Visit your Hy-Vee pharmacy, get your flu shot, and earn a 20-cent fuel saver today.
At Overhead Door Company, we repair any garage door and only install the best. Serving up to 100 miles outside of the Onalaska, Wisconsin area. When you need a door company you can trust with your life, call Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region.
After the accident, my dad and my wife
got together and hired Schwebel, Getz & Sieben.
I think we made absolutely the right choice. They had the communication, they had the wisdom, they had all the knowledge that the company could bring to the table. I was really impressed with how they treated us, and we understood that they were backing us up 100%.
Schwebel, Getz & Sieben will fight to get you a fair settlement. Call or visit Schwebel.com today for a free consultation.
The Ultimate fan would know that the Packers played their first ever road game in Ishpeming, Michigan.
An Ultimate fan would know that Coach LaFleur was the 15th head coach and that he won 7 out of his first 8 games.
If anyone should decide who the Ultimate Packers fan is, I should make that call.
Coach LaFleur?
Could you make the cut and become the Quick Trip Ultimate Packers fan presented by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar?
One lucky fan will win a prize pack that includes $50,000 and 2 tickets to every Packers home and away game next season. Full rules at QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes.
News 8 Now wants to help you create memories with your family by watching movies on the big screen. Friday Flicks with Vicki Nichols of Sparta Cinema will tell you all about upcoming must-see blockbusters, plus exclusive deals at the theater. Watch this Friday at 5 a.m. on News 8 This Morning, presented by Sparta Cinema.
We've got an important milestone here to celebrate. As you know, our family has been providing other families with affordable flooring for 60 years. Whether it's vinyl, hardwood, laminate, tile, or carpet, we've offered a wide variety of flooring that stands up to the biggest messes. And we know messes. Speaking of which, who started in on the cake?
Don't look at me.
Sealand's Carpooling, where #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
Scheduling your flu shot appointment is quick and convenient.
You can just walk up when you're shopping or schedule an appointment, whichever works for you. Keeping families and communities healthy feels good. Visit your Hy-Vee pharmacy, get your flu shot, and earn a 20-cent fuel saver today.
The forecast is always changing.
It's very important to keep it updated and looking towards the future.
I do like 2 in the morning and 2 in the late morning. It's fun because I feel like I'm talking to someone out there and relating myself, the weather, and what they need to know.
There's a lot more information on there available, and it's constantly updated, and we're one of the few around here that really updates that constantly with new information.
Online weather updates from First Warn Weather, streaming on News 8000, the app, and 8+. Expect more. The First Warn Weather app. Download it today. You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Today is the first day of autumn. Of course, that means cooler weather's on the way, changing leaves and pumpkin spice everything. The fall equinox happens when day and night are nearly equal in length. After today, the northern hemisphere will start getting less daylight each day. So grab a sweater and enjoy the beautiful fall colors. Autumn is here.
Tens of thousands gathered in Arizona yesterday to honor Charlie Kirk at his memorial service. The memorial at State Farm Stadium in Arizona featured emotional tributes and political calls to action. President Trump, Vice President Vance, and other officials spoke at the service. Kirk's widow, Erica, said she forgives the man accused of killing her husband, while President Trump took a different tone in his remarks.
The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry.
President Trump says he plans to posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Seth Padilla, News 8 Now This Morning.
Thank you, Seth. Today, a suspect is set to be arraigned in a New Hampshire country club shooting that left 1 dead. Police say Hunter Nadeau, a former employee, shot and killed 59-year-old Robert Desari during a wedding Saturday night. 2 others were hurt at Sky Meadow Country Club. The 23-year-old suspect was arrested within 30 minutes and faces murder charges.
All right, the autumnal equinox comes in today. It's at 2:19 Eastern Daytime, so it'll be the same for everyone, everywhere across the globe at the same moment. We'll get into it here. Holding on to conditions to be like this today. Holding on to 60s, 70s, and near 80-degree heat down to the south by Prairie du Chien, 79 degrees for you. We'll also take it into account. Rain and storm activity will hold on to today as well, coming back later. Holding on to more of those middle 70s today, getting back into the lower 70s for Tuesday, going into Wednesday, and returning back to middle 70s to finish out for Thursday, Friday, and of course return back again to the middle 70s to lower 70s to finish out the weekend and beyond.
Okay, looking pretty comfortable overall. What are you going to do to celebrate the first day of autumn?
I think I'm going to have a hot chocolate.
There you go. Yeah. Sounds great.
How about
I'm
you?
going to have something maybe pumpkin.
Oh, okay.
Pumpkin spice sounds pretty nice right now.
Oh, yeah. You'll get that for me too?
Sure.
All right.
You got an empty cup over there. I got to fill it up. Thank you for waking up with us. Ahead at noon, the Oktoberfest Medallion Clue will give you another one when we see you at noon.